Hey there, this is Linda G. Roberts, your Back in the Groove Again coach, helping you live your best life now. I did a live this morning to tell you that I'm going to be doing some lives over the next few weeks, and I'm going to be talking about my marriages and divorces, my habit of smoking, and I'll also be talking about adultery. So this short video is to tell you how I'm feeling right now. You know, I've been thinking about, these lives and the information that I'll be sharing with you. At the same time, I'm also thinking I'd like to write a book, so I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want to say. And it's made me realize how much I've changed. But it's also made me realize how when I think about those things, some of the memories that I'm experiencing now, how it makes me feel not really good. It's so interesting that, I was thinking about when I was a child and how I spent a lot of time by myself. And when I was by myself, I would always do some crafts, but always quiet, always in my own little world, creating these different crafts. Or sometimes I would speak, of course. I would create these recordings, stories, and I would create different voices. So I had lived very much a quiet inner world, and this is mostly when I was living with my grandparents. So I'm thinking of all these memories, and I've got an outline of what I want to talk about in future audios, and also I'll be putting these audios more on my blog, but I'm going to be using them for my book as well. I'm thinking of my 20s and the different weddings and marriages I had and why I even married, and how at the same time, I was taking care of kids, well, especially for marriage number 2, because marriage number 1 ended up in a death, obviously not mine. There was no kids with marriage number 2, but marriage number 1, there were no kids, but marriage number 2, a lot of things were going on at that time, having kids and working and adultery, all of that was in just a very short time frame, because I was actually with husband number 2 for a total of 5 years. That includes going out to the divorce. I wasn't with him very long, but I certainly packed a lot of things in those 5 years. So I'm reflecting back, and thank goodness for therapy, thank goodness for self-help programs, thank goodness for friends and other strategies that I'll be sharing with you along the way. But thank goodness for that, because otherwise I would have definitely stayed stuck, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I do enjoy my life. I am happy now, but I wasn't happy when I was a young girl. I wasn't happy as a teenager. I wasn't even happy in my 20s and 30s. There were moments of happiness, of course, but it wasn't heartfelt. It wasn't a deep happiness, So now, even though I have those memories, I'm still very grateful. I'm still experiencing a lot of, joy and gratitude over what I've gone through. But at that time, gratitude, grateful, wasn't even part of my vocabulary. It's so interesting how we do grow eventually and blossom to be, our best self. So I want to share that with you because it's making me very reflective, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we need to reflect on where we've been for different reasons, right? I'm reflecting now because I want to create videos and I want to create a book. But sometimes we have flashbacks, or we listen to a radio song on the radio, and it brings us back to a certain time. The idea is to realize that today we are a different person. And even though you might not have changed a lot, because when you change a lot, it's because you've done a lot of work on yourself, not just read books, but that you actually did some inner changes and mindset changes and a lot of different types of changes, stopping habits like smoking pot, for example. But even if you didn't do a lot of changes, know that you are not the same person you were 10 years ago. It's impossible. How is that possible, right? 10 years have passed. You are a different person. You might not realize it, so I want you to spend some time thinking about that. Who are you today? Who were you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and who are you today? And you might have to do some reflecting on that, maybe some journaling as well. I'm going to leave you with that for now. My name is Linda G. Robert. I'm your coach. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach, and I'm here to help you live your best life now so you can love what you do. Bye now.